Veedu Lease in Malayalam. It's a hot topic because housing is such a fundamental need, and tricky leasing situations can leave anyone drenched in stress. Here's what you should know before diving in. Trust me, it's a whole vibe. So, a lease essentially means renting a home where you pay a lump sum up front, called a pagdi or deposit, instead of monthly rents. Sounds appealing, right? But here's the rub. It's not as simple as it sounds. Let me explain. The lump sum can range from 5 lakhs to a whopping 20 lakhs, depending on location and property size. You don't get interest on this deposit, but you also don't pay rent. Almost feels too good to be true, but it's not, for a reason. Your pain point kicks in if the lease agreement isn't airtight. What if the landlord says, "Sorry, I need the house back earlier than we agreed," or drags their feet when it's time to repay the deposit? Yep, these things happen. Pro tip: always honor the golden rule of Malayali leases. Get everything in writing. A verbal agreement is worth as much as a soggy dosa. Even if it's your trusted uncle's friend's cousin's house, insist on a proper lease document. Speaking of lease agreements, hire a lawyer to review the clauses carefully. Look for key details like the lease term, refund terms, notice period, and deductions. Damn, those repair charges often become gray areas. You don't want surprises down the road. Now, here's the step-by-step process. Step 1. Identify the property and negotiate the lease amount. Step 2. Conduct a thorough inspection. Check for damp walls, plumbing quirks, and faulty wiring. These small things turn big fast. Be picky. Step 3. Draft the agreement. Make sure it includes all the negotiated terms, especially the deposit return clause. Step 4. Register the agreement with the local registrar. Yes, you'll pay a small fee, but better safe than sorry when lakhs are involved. A pain point most people overlook? Inflation. If you lease the house for 5 years and prices skyrocket, you might feel like you missed the chance to buy a more affordable home. It's a double-edged sword of locking yourself in. Oh, and if you're hoping to sublease the property to someone else for profit, pause right there. Most lease agreements in Kerala strictly forbid subleasing. You'd be stepping into a legal minefield, my friend. Proceed with caution. One thing I learned is people often get emotionally attached to leased homes. They start treating it like ownership. But remember, when the lease period ends, the property isn't yours. Keep feelings in check because the goodbye might sting. Lastly, ask yourself, is this my best option? Leasing works when you're not yet ready to buy a property but hate burning cash on rent. However, if you have investment potential, buying might offer far better long-term benefits. Think big.